What the heck's going on with the Billings real estate market? We're going to talk about that and a few other things today. All right, so what is going on in the Billings real estate market? Let's go over some really quick stats. I'm going to try to keep this video a little shorter than 10 minutes this month. Right now, April sales were 176 in the area 1 through 8, which is the Billings proper area. Currently, we have 116 listed properties. Today's Mother's Day, and so that's our current active listings in the residential market, and that means that we have 19 days worth of inventory on the market. So what's really going on out there? Well, last month we talked about how the market was going up and down and it was starting to correct itself, and those numbers are playing out again this month. We now have an average sale price in Billings of around $314, second month in a row, and so we're starting to see those numbers balance out. One of the things that I'm hearing a lot, which I think is interesting, to myself as well as everybody that I've talked to, is we've all heard the story about this house listed for X, it's sold for Y, and oh my gosh, nobody can get a house bought successfully because they're selling for so much more than they're being listed for. Well, let's talk about some of the stats. I've got them broken down here on my sheet by price points. So 0 to 100, 100 to 150, 150 to 200, and so on. So if we look at that average list price, 250 to 350 is kind of the sweet spot right now where everybody seems to want to be buying a house. It's where the majority of the product is available in the market. What would you guess, based on what we were just talking about, is the average amount being paid over list? Now, I will tell you from personal experience, I helped a buyer this about 2 weeks ago, looking at a house for $205,000. They made an offer of $215,000. Tried not to check too many boxes on the buy-sell agreement, checking the contingencies, and they got in my opinion, somewhat rude response from the seller's agent saying, "We have multiple offers better than yours." But that being said, what's the actual number when everything gets to the end of the day and those sales come to fruition? Well, the highest above list price sales are in the 250 to 300 range, and they are closing at 102.7% of list. So we just sold a property 3 weeks ago in the month of April. Hasn't closed yet, but it closed for what was it, a little more than 3% of list price. Now, it was 105.4%, I believe, when we ran the numbers on that. So that being said, that property I was just talking about, I have one just down the street from my house that apparently, according to the information that I was able to get, sold for $20,000 more than list in the 200,000-ish price range. And so the reality is these properties have to appraise in order to be able to close. And so even though winning them requires coming in extremely aggressively, what I'm seeing in the stats is that the reality is when everything comes to fruition, they're still having to be adjusted. I've been seeing this for almost a year now where people are coming in, they're willing to pay more than the market or the appraisal values of properties right now, and they still have to be able to appraise in order for the lender to be willing to lend on them. So just something to note. You need to be able to be aggressive if you're a buyer. And then you as a seller, if you're selling a property, just because somebody comes in and is willing to pay an exorbitant amount of money above what your property is listed for, you need to be prepared for the fact that you may not actually get that in the end. and that you're going to end up likely in a negotiation based on that particular contingency. So that all being said, highly recommend, if you're somebody that's looking to list a property, give us a call so we can talk to you about strategies to maximize the amount of money that you are going to get out of your property. I've had several properties in the last several months where appraisals didn't come in and my clients still made well above appraisal as the listing property. And on the buy side, our buyers, our stats, I guess I should go over that. Our average so far this year, our sellers are getting about 110% of lists, where the market, even at the highest point in the market, it's 102.7. And our buyers are being able to get properties bought for about 95% of lists. So we're doing a great job, I think, of helping people on both sides of the coin. And we would love to sit down with you, talk about strategies on how you're going to be able to win in the real estate market in the greater Billings and central Montana area. Again, as always, we really appreciate it if you like, subscribe, share this video with anybody that you think would benefit from it. And hopefully we'll look forward to talking to you personally sometime in the near future. This is Sean with the Johnston Property Group, where we bring real estate to real life. Take care.